Hey, what is up everyone? Danny and Alex. Today we're going to talk about the med ball, medicine ball training for explosivity for martial arts. Check it out. All right, so in the world of combat sports, or any type of sport for that matter, three components are a must for a competitive athlete. That is speed, strength, and power. Speed is the ability to move as quickly as possible. Strength is the ability to exert as much force as possible. And power is the ability to exert the force very rapidly, very quickly. All right, so it's a combination of the first two. Using exercises such as plyometrics and explosions are what's going to increase your power. Meaning, in other words, pushing a weight or an object quickly. All right, so fast twitch muscle fibers must be developed if you want to get at the peak of your athletic career. Okay, so now I'm going to show you guys 6 exercises today, basic ones. Of course, as we get to a training camp, or let's say Alex has a jiu-jitsu tournament or Muay Thai tournament, even if it was MMA, everything is going to get a little bit more specific, sport specific in terms of certain types of movements. But today I'm going to show some general type of movements that are applicable in a general style of training camp. Okay, so the first exercise is a basic chest pass. Now, just before we begin, you're going to want to use a soft medicine ball, not the hard one, so that way there, when you catch it, it's easier on the catch. And you're going to want to use an appropriate amount of weight. So because I'm doing the exercises for Alex today, okay, he's 13 years old, weighs 80 pounds. So we're going to be using a 6-pound medicine ball. Usually we train with 6 to 10 pounds, depending on the phases and the types of exercise. But for just the demo today, we're going to use a lighter ball. If you're an adult, such as myself, I'd be using something between 12 to 14 pounds. Now, don't forget, you don't want to use a 20-pound ball because these exercises are not for reps, they're for endurance, okay, so the explosions. So what we're going to do is we're going to demonstrate maybe 5 or 6 repetitions of each. We're going to show you guys how we do them for general purposes, okay? So the first exercise, we're going to stand at a further distance apart, okay? And what Alex is going to do is going to catch the ball. So I'm going to have him train the reps, but I'm going to do it as a partner just to show an example of doing it with a partner as well. So chest pass is the first exercise. What I'm going to do is extend my arms the same way that I'm going to push someone or punch. Okay, I want to fully lock out the elbow. So the chest pass is going to be holding the ball here and fully extending my arms so I can push the ball with enough velocity to get there very quickly. I imagine that I want the ball to get from point A to point B as quickly as possible. All right, so we're going to do let's do 4 reps each, okay? Are you ready? Let's go. Catch first. And when we're doing the exercises, you always want to breathe out. One more. Beautiful. All right, so the first exercise, the basic one, the chest pass, the standing chest pass. Now, the more advanced you get at this, as well as the more comfortable you are at throwing and catching, you want to start to separate you and your partner at the distance you're going to have. Right now we did it for the purpose of the camera angle. We're a little bit closer, but in reality, once we get the training sessions in, we usually stand about double that distance, so that way they will have a little bit more space for the velocity of throwing the ball at each other. Okay, so that's the first one. Basic exercise, the chest pass. Okay, let's take a look at the second exercise now. Very similar to the first one, but now we're going to hold it overhead. So the ball is going to be here, and I'm going to do an overhead extension. So it's going to go upwards, and Alex is going to catch it as such. All right, so for the purpose of the video, once again, keep in mind, we're doing it a little bit closer for the angle of the camera so you guys can see both of us. But in reality, we're going to be distanced apart. Okay, so Alex, are you ready? Let's do 4. Explosion. Okay, a little bit quicker now on your reps. I'm doing it slow, but I want you fast. There you go, beautiful. One more. Okay, let's go, throw it fast. Boom, beautiful. See, that last repetition is how I would like to see the reps for some good explosivity. All right, let's take a look at our next exercise. This next one here is about rotational power. Okay, so now, Alex, face me. I'll be back, okay? What I'm going to do is twist. I want my trunk twisting towards my partner behind me, okay? And when I do so, at the extent of my pivot, I want to release the ball in an explosive fashion. Watch this. I'll do it slow. Here. Now I'll turn and he'll do the same. Back to me and explode fast. Go. Beautiful. Nice shot. My turn again. Nice. Your turn. Fast. Beautiful. And what we'll usually do is 10 repetitions on the left and then 10 repetitions on the right as well. So I'll show one more time on the opposite side. Now on this side, if I'm turning towards my right, you'll see me rotating on my left foot. Okay, so Alex, you ready? Now your turn. Just one rep. Beautiful. So this develops a lot of core rotational strength and power because we're incorporating the strength of the velocity with the speed, which is that explosiveness. That's the power we're looking for. Okay, next up, very similar to the last one. Now we're going to be back to back. Now this one here is not about as much power, but also rotational core, like we just said, but also just working our core action. So I'm going to pass the ball to him. He's going to turn right away and pass it to me. And we'll keep going like this, maintaining our elbows close to our body. So here, I don't want to extend the ball with my arms. I want to turn my shoulders to catch it and hand it to my partner. So here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we'll do an X amount of repetitions, or sometimes we'll train for time. And then once we've reached that, we'll switch sides and do it in the opposite direction. That's the next one. All right, let's take a look at our next exercise. This one, Alex is going to have a seat. This one, we're going to work our explosivity, but we're also going to engage the trunk, the lower back, our shoulder endurance, as well as the abdominals, all right? So Alex is going to do a sit-up, but when he does, he's also going to use some plyometric movement by pushing the ball forward, all right? Go. 1, and then catch, and 2, and sit up, and catch. So I want him doing an extra rep in between every catches, see? So let's go, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on and so forth. So that's the sit-up chest pass. All right, guys, so for our last exercise we're going to show for this clip is going to be very similar to the last one once again. Sit-up position, Alex. And now we're going to do a combination of the tricep extension. Okay, so now Alex is going to have the ball. He's going to hold it above his head. Do a sit-up and hand it off in an extension from here. Now he does one more rep, and then he catches the ball again. And overhead. So by holding the ball in a different location that he had in the previous exercise, challenges him a little bit more in the core, in the lower back and shoulders. And as he exploses up, he uses the strength of his tricep to explode the movement forward. All right, so let's see this in action. Ready? Go. And 1, 2, one more, and 3, hand it off. Beautiful, good job. All right, so usually when training camp begins, we start to incorporate these med ball exercises instead of weights. All right, number 1, there's no danger of getting injured, because if you drop the weight on your head like a barbell, you're going to get injured for sure. But if you drop the med ball, there's less chances of injury. Plus, it's very intimidating sometimes to do Olympic style lifting. But with the med ball, we can use exercises that attain the same objective without the fear of the athlete having to know that he might injure himself by dropping weights, steel on his head. All right, so I love the use of medicine balls. And we use this a lot when Alex has like training camps for his jiu-jitsu, and now he's going to be having training camps for Muay Thai and eventually mixed martial arts. So these types of exercises are great to include as general purposes for all sorts of sports, but in our case specifically for martial arts. All right, so include some of these exercises in your next training session. Try them out, and
we'll see you guys in the next video.
Take care.